This is Center Grove Bantam Football League Super Bowl Saturday, proudly presented by Aldi. Here at Ray Skillman Stadium, Kevin Conrad, along with Center Grove Gridiron Club President Aaron Holt, and we welcome everybody to the major Super Bowl between the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Washington State Cougars. And Aaron, great matchup here. They played twice during the regular season. Both times it was South Carolina winning, but third time it's hard to sometimes beat a team 3 times in the same season. But we've got a great one here in the major Super Bowl.
It always is, especially in this type of league, because the games are all played and you can see each other play a lot and see their tendencies and whatnot. So it should be an exciting matchup between both Washington State and South Carolina.
And for Ray Jackson, he's the head coach for Washington State, no stranger to the Super Bowl. He's 2-0 in Super Bowl games, and across the way will be Rick Embry, head coach, his third appearance. He's 1-1 in Super Bowl, so both of them do a great job.
Both coaches have been around for a long time. They get it, and interestingly enough, they've had a lot of success when they've played in the big games. So be interesting not only to see the kids play, but the strategies that both coaches put in place for the matchup.
So again, here in the major division Super Bowl, it's Washington State against South Carolina. This is Center Grove Bantam Football League Super Bowl Saturday, proudly presented by Aldi.
The milk from other supermarkets is fresh, wholesome, and expensive. The milk from Aldi is also fresh and wholesome, but it costs a lot less. And when you consider that our milk comes from the same place as theirs does, paying more for it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Not even to her. At Aldi, the same is always better when it costs less. And that's the truth.
Here we are today, 2014 Center Grove Bantam Football League Super Bowl, major division. I'm here with head coach Rick Embry to introduce his team today, South Carolina Gamecocks. Let's hear it. I know you guys have been doing fairly well during the regular season. Tough postseason. What do you think it's going to take today to win the game?
Well, I think we have had a very successful season, 10-1 on the year. A couple good games against this team that we play today. They have a lot of weapons on offense. We're going to have to do a good job of shutting those guys down and eliminate the big plays, and hopefully we'll be able to move the ball against them and get a victory.
Okay, great, Coach. You want to introduce your assistant coaches, cheerleaders, and players to us?
Sure, absolutely. Here we go. First, for our cheerleaders, Ashley Embry, Ella Barrett, and Katie Pack. Hannah. Sarah Pack, my fault. And the cheerleading coach is Mary Pack. For our players, number 14 is Brant Harbin. Number 20 is Adam Irons. Number 5 is Austin Britt. Number 15 is Braden Holland. Number 30 is Jackson Barrett. Number 72, Sam Hesser. Number 76, Zach Alexander. Number 1, Luke Embry. Number 89, Luke Janier. Number 51, Dalton Hutchins. Number 21, Mason Long. Number 25, Cole McNeil. Number 41, Colin Riggs. Number 78, Cole Eckert. And my assistant coach is Bo Barrett.
Okay, thank Coach Rick. Hey, good luck today, guys, in your game. Good luck today. Here we are at 2014 Center Grove Bantam Football League Super Bowl Major Division. We've got, Washington State Cougars. Let's hear it, guys. Congratulations on your season and getting to the Super Bowl. I'm here with Coach Ray Jackson. Coach Jackson, what do you think is going to take to win today?
We're going to have to execute and play mistake-free football.
Yeah. Okay. A little bit colder than it has been. What do you think that does to the game?
My boys are warriors, so I think we're ready to go. No hand warmers, and I said no long sleeve shirts, but I think Mommy and Daddy want them to stay warm. So.
Okay, here, I'm going to give you the mic and let you introduce your team.
All right, first up, Braxton Rydens. Number 25, Hunter Schaefer. Number 21, Clay Stanball. Number 51, Jackson Gilchrist. Number 20, Diego Nooner. Number 5, Taven Jackson. Number 1, Blake McNeil, Mr. Smiley. Number 30, Sam Strauss. Number 14, Big Jaden. Number 878. Are you ready to play? You sure? Ethan Wilkerson. Number 72, Asa Christie. Number 89, Josh Fernandez. Number 76, too tall, Ethan Jones. And number 15, Justin Steele.
All right, guys. Congratulations again on making the Super Bowl, and have a great game today.
Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. He's got SUVs, crossovers, long bed, short bed, flat bed, dump cab, crew cab, cinder cab, half ton, 3/4 ton, 1 ton, high cube van, cargo van, diesel engine, gas in the stock. For custom in the color you want, man. Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. Ray Skillman's got your truck, man.
Welcome back inside Ray Skillman Stadium. Kevin Conrad, Aaron Holt with you for the Major Division Super Bowl between the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Washington State Cougars. Our final Center Grove Bantam Football League Super Bowl of the day. And Aaron Holt, congratulations to you winning the minor division Super Bowl with the Texas A&M Aggies. The Aggies are 2-0 on the day. They won the rookie division as well, but congratulations, your second Super Bowl.
Thank you so much. It feels great. It was an incredible game. Got to play against a great friend and Johnny Reese, who I've gotten to know the last few years, and he is such a good coach. His team is always ready to play, and it was an exciting game. In fact, the last session we just had, I could barely get my breath. I'm still breathing hard, and I was kind of laughing because Texas A&M is 2-0 for the day, and I don't know if it's the name or the jersey that's good luck, but when I look out on the field, both jerseys kind of resemble what A&M's look like today. So it should make this a great matchup just for that sake.
South Carolina 9-1 on the season, the number 1 seed. Washington State 7-3, the number 2 seed. For the Gamecocks, they won their first 8 games of the season before suffering their only loss of the season. They have scored at least 12 points in each of their games this season. They have 5 shutouts, and they've won 3 games by scoring in the last minute of the game. So Coach Embry and his assistant, Bo Barrett, have done a great job with this team. They played Washington State twice during the season. First game, it was a close one, 27-21. South Carolina won it. In game 2, a little bit of a blowout. Washington State lost 28-6 in the second rematch.
One thing that is neat to note is Rick Embry did something that we don't normally allow, but due to different numbers and situations this year, he had to coach 2 teams as a head coach, both in the minor and the majors, and did a great job.
Game underway. It's going to be taken at about right at midfield. Good job for Washington State to cover it up for Washington State. They'll take control from their own 49. For the Washington State Cougars, 7-3 regular season record, 2-0 here in the playoffs. They had some success passing the football in the season opener against Notre Dame. They passed for 100 yards. And they lead the league in points scored, but they've struggled with the defense at times, according to Coach Jackson. Again, 0-2 against South Carolina during the regular season. Coach Jackson 2-0 in the Super Bowls, and 1-yard gain, maybe that's about it.
We're going to have to get on Coach Jackson. You know, he played corner for Washington State, the actual university itself, in the Rose Bowl. He's supposed to be Mr. Defensive guy, so we're going to have to give him a little bit of havoc there. But his son Taven is a great talent, and there's no question it wouldn't be a surprise that he can air it out, and they've had success in that general vicinity this season.
The big fellow, Luke Janier, with the tackle on Justin Armour, and the assistants for Coach Jackson, Tim Bishop, Dwayne Booker, and Scott Gilchrist. And the team mom, Becky Stanball. Again, the team moms do a lot, that is for sure, for all the Center Grove Bantam Football League teams. And Stanball sprints outside, gets the first down, cuts it back, and he may go the distance. He will. Touchdown, Stanball. Very impressive.
What a great run by Clay. Kid's been around. He's watched his older brother grow up. He's been around this league for a long time, and as a sixth grader, for him to come out and his first carry of the day to take it to the house is a fantastic job for him, and couldn't be happier for him. Really good run, getting it up the field and weaving and doing all the things that he can do to get it into the end zone.
And the team mom, I should mention real quickly for South Carolina, Jenny Hutchins. So, again, the team mom's doing so much for all these Bantam teams. And, man, just a snap of a finger, the Washington State Cougars in front 6-0, and they will go for 2. First 2 games today, not a lot of scoring, but maybe this is the game where we'll see a lot of scoring. Stanball takes the toss. He's in there for the score, but a flag down.
I think we're going to get a hold there on the left side. Saw the flag come out pretty quickly.
Holding against the Cougars. Negates the 2-point run by Stanball.
Yeah, number 72, defensive end, came up the field, and he got hooked, and that causes the penalty flag to come out onto the field. So they'll still get the opportunity to get the extra point. It's just going to come from a little bit further distance, 15 yards to be exact.
Coach Jackson, he's put in some new wrinkles here with some plays in the playoffs. A lot of coaches do that. He'll have that toss play. Also, you might see a little of the quarterback option with his son, Taven Jackson, number 5. And Taven's going to throw it, and he just led his receiver too much. Taven with a great arm, but just put it over the top of his receiver down the field.
Yeah, and I think that play actually was originally supposed to go more towards the corner of the end zone, and receiver didn't quite get to the spot, and Taven overthrew it as well. But that's a play I can guarantee you he's going to come back to before this game's over. It was open, and they just got to execute a little bit better. Intended
receiver, if I'm saying it correctly, Aaron, you correct me. Is it Diego Nooner?
I believe so. Yep, I believe so. Don't want to promise that's right, but I believe I've heard that throughout the evaluation period when the teams are being put together.
And throughout the broadcast, we will read off these player profiles, always so interesting. These are comments written by the players playing in today's championship game. We'll start with the South Carolina Gamecocks. Luke Janier, number 89, mentioned his name already once with a big tackle. He goes to Pierre Meridian 6th grade academy. Mr. Collins, his favorite teacher, and we'll watch the ball kicked off, goes out of bounds. And he says here Peyton Manning, his favorite pro player, and he says going to the Super Bowl for the 2nd time, the big highlight for Luke Janier, big number 89 for South Carolina. I'm sure we'll be calling his name and number quite a bit today.
I have a feeling just in the last couple names that have been read, you're going to hear a lot about brothers today. He has an older brother, went through this league, had tremendous amount of success, and it was really, really a good football player, and Luke's been quite similar. And so you're going to hear that name a lot today, I have a feeling.
We'll see the Gamecocks offensively for the first time. Ball placed at the 35 following the penalty of the ball being kicked out of bounds. And handoff going off the right side of the line of scrimmage. We got a flag in the backfield, so this may come back. It may be holding. Good run, though, by Mason Long, but I'm afraid it's going to be negated by the holding call. Yes, holding against South Carolina.
Yeah, didn't quite see it there on the replay, but now that we're in the 5th and 6th grade, not that the holding's allowed in the prior championships, but it's going to be called a little bit tighter just because the kids are older, and not a problem with that, obviously, but these guys are going to have to make sure they get engaged and move their feet, or the flag's going to come out.
For Washington State, number 15, Justin Armour, goes to St. Barnabas. Mrs. Griffith, his favorite teacher, says the best part about football is running the football. Peyton Manning, his favorite pro player, and going to the Super Bowl, the big highlight for Justin Armour, number 15 for Washington State. So with that penalty, it brings up 1st and 20. Again, they go right back to Mason Long, gets outside and almost picks up a first down. Great job by Long to pick up 16 yards on the carry to that far side.
Mason has a lot of good speed and some nice blocks there. Geez, I don't know I couldn't see which one it was, but he had his block. Could have been number 89, Joshua Fernandez had a great block downfield.
Real close to a first down. Luke Embry with the carry. Let's see if we'll spot it. Just inches short of the first down. 3rd and inches.
Luke's a hard-nosed kid and will run that ball straight up the gut every single time, and he'll punish you too. And you'll see him run a lot of belly today, I bet.
Straight ahead running. Mason Long gets the first down, trying to get to midfield. He gets it to the 49. 4 yards for Mason Long. He runs hard.
I think what will happen, too, because of the explosiveness of Washington State, you'll see Coach Embry really work the clock, take his time in the huddle, and he's going to run a lot of bellies and dives, keeping the ball in between the tackles and just punching 3-4 yards of carry, keeping the ball out of the hands of Washington State.
Brant Harbin, number 14, the quarterback for the Gamecocks.
It's going to be a face mask there. Right when he was cutting back right. I'm not sure who got his hand in there, but I saw the head rip. So that'll be close to a first down, possibly a first down depending on what kind of face mask they called.
Mason Long with the carry. Let's see if it's 5 yards or 15. Look at him march it off from the spot of the foul, and it'll be a 5-yard penalty. Incidental face mask against Washington State. Ethan Jones, number 76 for the Washington State Cougars, goes to Center Grove Middle School Central. His favorite teacher, Mr. Basham. He said catching passes is the best part about football. Tyler Watson, a freshman, his favorite Trojan. Reggie Wayne of the Colts, his favorite pro player. Fumble on the play. Thought I heard somebody yell fumble.
Yep, he snap was fumbled, but the quarterback Harbin was able to get his hands on it pretty quickly. So no harm, no foul, and 2nd and 2.
Also Janier for Washington State almost came up with it. To finish up with Ethan Jones in 3rd grade, he said he stripped the ball and ran it back for a touchdown. That's the big highlight for Ethan. And at the beginning of the season, Coach Jackson noticed that I hadn't brought my cleats yet and told my dad he had to get a garage full and not to buy any. We see a great run here for the Gamecocks to get a first down, and he said that it turns out he gave me a pair of cleats he wore in the NFL for the Kansas City Chiefs. One inspiration of a great season.
Well, here's what I'll say about Ethan Jones. He came out as, I believe, a 2nd grader. He was tall back then, and he had a heck of a season. And unfortunately, I don't know if they already lived in Franklin or they moved to Franklin, but they were gone for a few years. And when he walked through the doors this year, knowing that he's back in Center Grove, that's quite frankly one of my highlights. And I don't know the family very well, but it was one of my highlights because that kid's going to be a player in anything he does. We got a touchdown almost here.
Mason Long almost gets loose for a touchdown. He's knocked out of bounds on that far sideline. Player down for Washington State, the one that made the saving tackle. He's a little slow getting back to his feet.
Going back to Ethan Jones, he He's a great athlete. I know he's a good basketball player, but I think he has a promising future in football. And again, I don't know the family very well, but it's just ecstatic he's back here at Center Grove. It's fantastic news.
Diego Nooner, number 20 for Washington State, made that saving tackle, and now Luke Embry is thrown to the turf. Not much there for Embry. Luke Embry on the carry.
That's going to look funny on TV there, Kevin. You got Luke, who isn't very tall, and you got Ethan, who's extremely tall. So when you look at that tackle, it just looked funny from the get-go.
For the Gamecocks, Brant Harbin, quarterback, goes to Sugar Grove. Miss Fields, his favorite teacher, says the best part about football, the hard hits. Big fan of Luke Calvert, Andrew Luck, and a big highlight, interception against Washington State. On second down, Mason Long to the 5, another first down. This will be first and goal at the 5, and Mason Long, he brought his A game today.
He sure did. His vision today is what's standing out to me. He's really being patient and cutting the ball up, and not hesitating when he's cutting either. He's making a quick move, driving that inside leg out and back to the forward part of the field, and that's helping him get the yards today.
Harbin under center. Hand off Long, and this time they chop him down at the line of scrimmage. Great penetration by that D line of Washington State.
First there for Washington State, number 5, David Jackson.
Jackson leads the way for the Cougars with the stop. Brings up second and goal. Ball spotted at the 5. No score. First quarter going quickly, down to a minute 20 and counting. Gamecocks threatening. Harbin will keep it. Gets outside looking for the pylon. He dives for it, and he's going to step out of bounds shy of the goal line. They're going to spot him down, looks like, at around that 2-yard line.
Here's the good news. We got that replay from Gridiron this year. We get to watch it. Last year we were guessing, weren't we? But it's going to be close. Yep. He did.
He stepped out at the 1.
He did. How cool is that? This is the first Super Bowl for Bantam that we can actually use replay, and that's awesome. That's really, really cool, and it was a good play. And what's so neat about that, Kevin, is we've had games in the past where questionable. We'll say it at that, right?
Sure.
That changed the game or are at the end of ball games, and so it's kind of neat to see it on replay now.
Third and goal at the 1. Cougars with their goal line defense. Handoff, trying to get a push. Gamecocks cannot break the plane, so 4th and goal. Let's see where they'll spot it. Inside the 1, just shy of the goal line. Just short. 48 seconds and counting to play here in the first quarter. This is your biggest play of the game right here up to this point. And a timeout called by Coach Ray Jackson of Washington State.
Looks like Coach Ray pulled out maybe one of the Rose Bowl sweatsuits he got back in the day. He's looking pretty suave.
Very.
He's giving him some great advice right now on a 4th and inches. Now, if you know anything about Rick Embry in the past years, he literally is known for the quarterback sneak. He won a Super Bowl when he was like the 8th seed, and quarterback sneaked himself with Charlie Bemis all the way through the playoffs and won a great one with the Miami Hurricanes back in the day.
I'll say the U, yes.
I'm just guessing now. Harbin's not as big as Charlie was back then, but it would not shock me here if the old Embry goes back to old reliable.
4th and goal. Inches for the Gamecocks. Harbin, here's your quarterback, and it is a quarterback sneak. Did he get it or not? Yes, he did.
There you go.
Touchdown, South Carolina.
Pays to know history, right, Kevin?
That's right. Game tied at 6 apiece.
Brad Harbin in on the quarterback sneak for South Carolina.
Now, the only thing that's changed from then and there is Embry was very calm. Back in the day, he would have been running down the field, jumping up and down, acting like he was a Purdue fan that never saw anything happen.
So now they'll go for one. Game tied at 6. Again, for the Cougars, it was Clay Stanball on a 50-yard touchdown run, putting the Washington State squad in front early. They could not convert on their extra point. Let's see what they can do here with Mason Long. He's in there, and it's a 7-6 ball game. The South Carolina Gamecocks convert, and that's where games are won or lost, right there on your extra points.
Sure is, and if you've looked at today's game closely, you'll notice that Embry's done a good job moving the ball around, but there's no question he feels he can run to the right side of his offensive line, and that's where they're getting the bulk of their yardage, and Mason Long's doing a good job getting the ball in where it needs to be, and that time it was in the end zone.
For Washington State, Jaden Knight, number 14, goes to Sugar Grove. Mr. Shaddy, his favorite teacher, getting first downs, the best part about football for Jaden. And he's had his favorite Trojan, his number 28, Sam Bolin, and Deshaun Jackson, his favorite NFL player. Big highlight for Jaden, first time catching the ball in the end zone. And he says here, this is the first year I've played tackle football, and we are in the Super Bowl. So, again, that's Jaden Knight, number 14 for Washington State. And the ball is loose, and it is recovered by Luke Embry of South Carolina. What a play by the special teams of the Gamecocks.
Yep, and this is where in Bantam League it's a little different. The first 2 games that were put on today, the ball has to go 15 yards, which is obviously different than true football. And in this case, it has to go 10 yards in the majors. And what was pretty cool there is they actually had a kid run down the field and hit one of the Washington State players that opened up Embry to get the ball. Great play.
19 seconds to play here in the opening quarter. This might be your final play of the quarter. And Luke Embry tripped up at the line of scrimmage. And that should bring us to the end of the first quarter. And it is 7-6. South Carolina by 1 over Washington State here in the Major Division Super Bowl. This is Center Grove Bantam Football League Super Bowl Saturday, proudly presented by Aldi.
The milk from other supermarkets is fresh, wholesome, and expensive. The milk from Aldi is also fresh and wholesome, but it costs a lot less. And when you consider that our milk comes from the same place as theirs does, paying more for it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Not even to her. At Aldi, the same is always better when it costs less. And that's the truth.
After one quarter here in the Major Division Super Bowl, we've got a real good one going on. The South Carolina Gamecocks lead it 7-6 over the Washington State Cougars, and the difference is that the extra point, Washington State could not convert on their extra point after they had a penalty, and for the Gamecocks, they were able to put it in with Mason Long, and the touchdown scored in that first quarter, a 50-yarder by Clay Stanball on the opening drive. And for the Gamecocks, the quarterback, Harbin, 1 yard out, scored. So to begin the second quarter, it'll be 2nd and 10 for South Carolina. South Carolina just did a great job executing on the onside kick. Mason Long bounces it outside. Some pretty good blocking here on the edge by Austin Britt. And Mason Long runs out of bounds at the 39-yard line.
Attack the right side, left side of the defense, and it's going to be something he'll do the remainder of the day until they prove they can stop it. What they're doing is in that particular case, they were able to seal the defensive end, and if you do that here in this league with the way the defense is needed to be played, you're going to get a lot of good yards. So great job up front for South Carolina.
New set of downs for South Carolina. Luke Embry with his best carry of the day. He's to the 35-yard line, 4 yards for Embry. Austin Britt, number 5 today for South Carolina, goes to Sugar Grove. Mrs. Whitehead, his favorite teacher, says he loves running the football. Luke Calvert, his all-time favorite Trojan. Reggie Wayne, his favorite pro player. Big highlight for him, says making it to the Super Bowl this year. He says he enjoys playing football on Ray Jackson's team last year. That's South Carolina's Austin Britt. Second down and 6. Back to the money man. That's Mason Long. He's been very, very good today and all season long. He gets it to the 30. It's going to be about a yard and some short of the first down. Strauss gets credit for the tackle.
Can't quite see who's firing off the ball for South Carolina. I think it might be Sam Hesser and number 72. And he's just doing a really good job of getting off the line of scrimmage, and that's doing enough to give the running back an opening to run.
Yeah, Hesser on that right side at tackle. You got Janier, number 89, at right guard, and they go right back to that right side. A great opening to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, Janier's doing a good job of pushing his guy down towards the middle of the field, and with Hesser going out there after his guy, it's going to be hard for Washington State to stop, and they're going to have to get him up with some creative areas there to maybe shoot different gaps and send the linebacker get in that gap quicker so Hesser can't get off the line.
First down for the Gamecocks. The man in motion takes the handoff, and then he hands it off to Luke Embry. Embry inside the 15, another first down. Brendan Holland took the handoff, and then the second half handoff going to Luke Embry. Great play, great execution.
This is a play that the high school will run maybe three times in a season. But it's one of those that everybody in the stands sees, and if you're a coach, you're going to do everything in your power to figure out how to run it, and they executed it really well there. It's a hard one to do because it's the really 3 handoffs on one play, or 2 handoffs in one play.
Mason Long gets to the edge and runs out of real estate, out of bounds at the 6.
But if you can run that play with a good execution, it's going to be very difficult for the defense to adapt.
Washington State's number 21, Clay Stanball, already has a touchdown. He goes to Middle School Central. Mr. Wingler, his favorite teacher. Best part about football, lead blocking for a big play. His favorite Trojan, Max Norris, and his brother, Zach Stanball. Reggie Wayne, his favorite pro player. Big highlight for him is a 93-yard touchdown run. He says here, I love Jesus, family, and football. Clay Stanball, number 21 for Washington State. And on second down, they go back to Mason Long looking for the end zone. He's down inside the 1, just short of the goal line. The ball came out, but he was already down.
Yep, he was down. Yep, and that's an easy call. I think we'll see it here in the replay. Again, Mason's doing a really good job of planting that outside foot and then driving himself upfield. And by doing that, the defense is actually overrunning him. So give Mason credit for running the football the right way.
First and goal at the 1. Handoff, Embry hit in the backfield. He gets away from the initial tackle, but it's still loss of yardage on the play. Great push on that side of the line by the D-line of Washington State. Who blew it up? Aaron, let's try to pick up a number here. I think it's number 1 and number 30.
Number 30 came in, but what they did that time is Strauss did a really good job getting in there. What helped open it up is they brought Ethan Jones over, and they probably went to a 6-man front at that point, being that it's within the goal line. And he's a little bit bigger and quicker off the ball, and that made it more difficult for Hester there.
Second and goal from the 3, Mason Long. No indication. He is denied. It'll bring up third and goal inside the 1.
Now, it looks like I just caught something here, too. Embry is possibly running away from Ethan Jones, and that would make some sense. That last play prior, he didn't catch that Jones was on the line where he was, and then he caught it and went to the left side. Let's see if Embry goes left here.
3rd and goal at the 1. And it'll be a quarterback keeper, and in there, touchdown, Brant Harbin, his 2nd score of the day.
Yeah, I keep telling Embry that he sounds like Gino Toretta on the radio, which, those of you who don't know who he is, he was a past Heisman Trophy winner from the Miami Hurricanes at quarterback, and his voice really sounds like it, but I'm going to have to change his name to Rick Gino, quarterback sneak, Toretta Embry.
12-7. South Carolina leads it. 3:54 to play in the 2nd quarter, and a lot of fireworks so far in this ball game. A lot of scoring.
Great for Harbin. I'm guessing his dad is not here today. He's the defensive coordinator for Franklin College now, and I'm assuming they're playing somewhere. So this will be neat for him to be able to see his son have a great game here in the Super Bowl.
Going for 1 point, tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Great play by Ethan Jones, and you know, maybe that's something that the Washington State coaching staff will start doing is getting him up on the line of scrimmage, playing defensive tackle, because he is disrupting things, and that's where the success has been for South Carolina, and they could not run right there the last few plays.
For South Carolina, Luke Embry, number 1, goes to Middle School Central. Mr. or Mrs. Boaz, favorite teacher. Says he loves crushing someone. Best part about football, his favorite Trojan, Max Norris. Drew Brees, former Boiler, now Saints quarterback, his favorite football player in the pro ranks. Big highlight for Luke Embry, winning the Super Bowl in 3rd grade. And he says here he's a big fan of the Purdue Boilermakers, just like his dad. That's Luke Embry, number 1 for South Carolina.
Everything you just said about Luke is absolutely dead on fantastic, with the exception of being a Purdue fan. You got to be kidding me. I mean, we're going to have to do something to get that kid's mind right, because, you know, the Embry's a wonderful family, but they have one nagging downfall, and that's the Purdue Boilermakers.
Let's see what they do here with this kickoff. I think it's is it Jackson Barrett that does the kickoff for the Gamecocks. Last kickoff, they were able to get the onside kick, and this time the Cougars do grab it, and they take a knee, and that is Taven Jackson in that front row taking care of the football, and this will be just now the 2nd time the Cougars have had the ball on offense.
Tell you what, looking around the day, it's been a very chilly day. Temperatures not what we've all been used to the last few months, and the kids have handled it well, but the fans have come out today, and the visiting stands have been pretty much full almost each and every game. Home stands are doing a good job too. We've got a lot of ex-players. I see a lot of my ex-players like Cade Lansdale and Lucas Rayling, and a lot of middle school kids that have been out here, and they can't wait for their big game Tuesday.
The toss to Clay Stanball. There's a flag in the backfield. This one will most likely come back. They finally hit Stanball down at the 32-yard line, and it is going to be against the Cougars, holding, and they're going to march this one back. One of the players grabbed the jersey.
Tough call, because I think it happened on the right side of the play, and the play was going left. And it was such a quick toss. Makes it a difficult penalty to deal with.
For the Cougars, number 30, Samuel Strauss, impact player for the Cougars, goes to Maple Grove. Mrs. Soderdahl's is his favorite teacher. Says the best part about football being center and tackling the QB. Big fan of Peyton Manning. Said the best highlight of his career is when he was a center, when he first got that opportunity. And he says here he likes to ride horses. I compete with my horse with barrel racing and also pole bending, if I'm saying that correctly. Back to action. Wow, the Gamecocks came after him. That is Janier leading the way, among others. A big loss.
They had 3 or 4 kids 5 yards deep in them. That play was done from get-go. Janier just blew it up, and that caused Jackson to go back further than he would. And mesh between the quarterback and the running back kind of got screwed up there, and it was just not going to go anywhere fast. And big play there between the hold and losing another 8 yards or so. This is second and really, really long. Washington State's going to have to be careful. Just try to get a couple chunks back if they can. I don't know if they punt, but this is danger zone area.
Also Mason Long in on the stop as well. I think you're going to say this is about 2nd and 27 here for the Cougars, and Stanball gets through a couple of tackles, and then he's finally tripped up. Otherwise, he may go for another touchdown run. He gets it to the 45-yard line before he was tripped up.
Really good run by Clay Stanball. He's been impressive today. Just a great cut there. He was patient, read it, found the little seam, and got it upfield, and did a good job staying on his feet, too, after the first initial hits. Now it's a little bit more manageable. 3rd down. They can get another 8 yards here. It gives the opportunity for Washington State to really open up their playbook, and it would be a big deal.
Luke Embry was the one that got a hand in there to trip up Stanball, and on 3rd and 15, they go right back to Stanball, and finally his forward progress comes to a stop. Otherwise, he just kept churning. He kept moving. He didn't want to go down. It's 4th and 11.
This makes it pretty interesting because it's 4th and 11. You got less than a minute. If I was Embry, I'd almost call a timeout here to force the issue because he's got a short field and maybe could get another score on the board, but it doesn't look like he's going to do that. So really kind of helps Washington State in that general area because the half's going to run out.
4th and 11. 28 seconds and counting. Looks like they're bringing the house. Linebackers blitzing, going after Stanball. He runs into his own blocker, and he's taken down at the 50. A turnover on downs, and great stop by the Gamecocks with 19 seconds to play. Coach Embry quickly gets his offense out there to the line of scrimmage to get ready to snap this one.
Yeah, now if he would have utilized his timeouts there, they wouldn't have near of a rush that they're dealing with. So now Long's been running well, so he's capable of breaking it. Let's look where Ethan Jones is here. He's on the wide side of the field at linebacker.
They will spike the football to stop the clock with 18 seconds to play. Ace Christie, number 72 for Washington State, goes to Pleasant Grove. Mrs. Anderson, his favorite teacher. He says here he loves hitting people without getting in trouble. Devin Wilson of the Trojans, his favorite player. Donald Brown, his favorite pro player. Making it to the Super Bowl today, the big highlight. He said he'd like to thank his mom for getting him to the practices and games. Never want to forget Mom. That's Ace Christie, number 72 for Washington State. 2nd and 10 from the 50.
Halfback
Mason
pass.
Long wanting to pass. In trouble, ran it out of bounds. Great job. He stops the clock.
Well, not only that, more importantly, he's a smart kid, and that could have been a game changer. His receiver was not open. He could have tried to force the pass, and that's where a game can change in this type of a league where, you know, an athlete like Taven Jackson intercepts it and takes it to the house, and all of a sudden you go down, you know, at the end of the half where you're tied or down a point. And instead, what's Mason Long do? He tucks the ball in, takes his time, gets out of bounds, gives him one more chance, and was patient. And that's hard to do for a kid, whether they're in 5th or 6th grade, and he needs to be congratulated there. That's a big play in this game. You watch.
Ethan Wilkerson chased him out of bounds. 3rd and 10, ball still at the 50-yard line. 12 seconds to play here in the first half. It's 13-6 Gamecocks, and that double handoff, and on that second handoff, the South Carolina player put it on the turf, and I think he got back on it, and Coach Embry will allow the clock to run out, and that brings us to halftime. The Gamecocks leading the Cougars 13-6 here in the Major Division Super Bowl. Coming up next, the Ray Skillman Automotive Group halftime show. This is Center Grove Bantam Football League Super Bowl Saturday, proudly presented by Aldi.
There's no difference in the quality of food you buy at other stores and the food you buy at Aldi. Except when you shop at Aldi, you'll have a lot more bucks left over when you leave. At Aldi, you'll keep more bucks every time you shop, and that's the truth. Aldi, simply smarter shopping.
Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. He's got SUVs, crossovers, long bed, short bed, flatbed, dump cab, crew cab, cinder cab, half ton, 3/4 ton, 1 ton, high cube van, cargo van, diesel engine, gas in stock, or custom in the color you want, man. Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. Ray Skillman's got your truck, man.
Welcome to the Ray Skillman Automotive Group halftime show. Ray Skillman, where we stack and D, Van Sellum. Chief, South Carolina leads Washington State here at halftime, 13-6, in the Center Grove Bantam Football League Major Super Bowl. Let's now go down to the field for the presentation of the Sportsmanship Awards and the Coach of the Year Award for the Major Division.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if I can direct your attention down to the track on the 50-yard line on the home side. Each year, from each team, a player from each team is awarded the Sportsmanship Award. This award is one of the highest awards given out to the Bantam player during his time at Center Grove Bantam football. That award is voted upon by his coach. At this time, I'd like to announce the major award winners. For South Carolina, Austin Britt. For Auburn, Matthew Hendrick. For Washington State, Braxton Riddens. For Purdue, Michael White. Penn State, Jacob Moore. Notre Dame, Michael LaRocca. And for Georgia, Ryan Luck. Also, the officials vote on a coach that displays great sportsmanship throughout the year. The Todd Pence Sportsmanship Award this year goes to Rick Embry.
Here at intermission, the Gamecocks lead the Cougars 13-6 in the Major Division Super Bowl. The Ray Skillman Automotive Group halftime show will continue after this timeout.
Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. He's got SUVs, crossovers, long bed, short bed, flatbed, dump cab, crew cab, cinder cab, half ton, 3/4 ton, 1 ton, high cube van, cargo van, diesel engine, gas in stock, or custom in the color you want, man. Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. Ray Skillman's got your truck, man.
Standing here today on a Saturday afternoon with Coach Eric Moore right before we start the fantastic day of Center Grove Bantam football. Coach, it's the championships. It's going to be a fantastic afternoon.
Well, it always is when it involves Bantam football, but I would like to say a shout out to our varsity team who defeated Pike last night in the pouring down rain, 42-6, and our JV team who's on the field right now has had 40-0 at halftime. So it sounds like it's going to be a great weekend for the Trojans. So what's a better follow-up than playing Bantam Super Bowls after a big Friday night of Trojan football? So it's exciting to see our young kids come out here today. We have Aldi out here sponsoring us all day. So bring the kids, bring the family, come down and watch all different grade levels of football. Lots of kids giving everything they got. Worked all season long for this day. I love the look on their faces when they come around and show their Trojan pride.
Well, the freshmen also, we just got a score. They're up at half, so we have an opportunity to get a sweep against Pike. That doesn't happen a whole lot when you're talking about the athletes that they have up there. This is an exciting day from the standpoint a lot of the varsity and JV players will stay after. Many of them played in these games, and it's neat to see Max Norris and those type of kids be excited for the little ones that are now getting their opportunity to play in such a great event.
Yeah, people say that this stuff really doesn't matter, but it does. Ask my guys. On Friday nights on the way back from the games and stuff, they talk about it. After the films on Saturday mornings, they're excited about going down and watching their old coach play, whatever team he coaches for, or their younger brothers or the team that they used to play for. And they all have their memories. Next couple weeks from this week is senior week, and they'll wear their Bantam jerseys to practice one day. That's always fun. So, yeah, if you don't think Bantam football is not important, you ask the number of people that come out here today and celebrate with us.
One of the neat things is you've always taken a very large interest into the Bantam complex. You've seen almost, I bet you, every team play at some point throughout the regular season. You do it every year. The influence that the varsity staff has in this program helps in the future of this program succeed, I would think.
Well, it's not as much of a chore as people think it is. After I finished the workup on Saturday, I tried to come out Saturday afternoon and watch teams play. I saw every team play, and some of them multiple times. I didn't really get to watch any of the playoff games because they were during our practice sessions, but I am going to be able to see the Super Bowls today. But it's another exciting year. And, just in a conversation last night with Derek Moyers, the head coach of Pike, he said, the big thing that we have going for us that he can't get his community to understand is the fact that they run our offensive system in Bantam football. So these kids have been running our offense since they were in third grade, and they're like machines, and that's what you want. And I respect the people in charge at Bantam for helping me take that and build that foundation of our wing T offense. So when they get to the high school, we can do so many other things with it because the basics are already there. So yes, this is a great day. It's a great day for our program every year. I just wish it was a little warmer.
Well, I'll tell you what, we appreciate everything you've done and continue to do. You're on a 3-game win streak. We got 2 more games the rest of the season. We wish you all the luck going into the playoffs. And again, thank you for your support here at the Bantam Championships.
Great to be here. Come out in 2 weeks and see us play Cathedral at home for the first time in the 15 years I've been here. But senior night in 2 weeks versus Cathedral. By then we'll know when the playoffs are. We'll know what team we'll be playing, where we'll be playing. So a lot of good information on Trojan football. And good luck to all the Bantam kids and all the fans come out today. Have a great day, and go Trojans.
If you want to cut your grocery bill, you typically have to cut the amount of groceries you buy. But when you switch to Aldi, you can cut your grocery bill by up to 50% without cutting back on groceries. At Aldi, we give you longer receipts for less money. And that's the truth. Aldi, simply smarter shopping.
South Carolina leads Washington State 13-6 here at intermission. This is the Ray Skillman Automotive Group halftime show. Ray Skillman, where we stack them deep and sell them cheap. Back to our player profiles for South Carolina. Cole Eckert, number 78 today, goes to North Grove. Mrs. Pointer, his favorite teacher. And Cole says tackling and good teammates and coaches the best part about football. His favorite Trojan, Javon Swan, and his favorite pro player, Richard Sherman. Big highlight for Cole. He says his first tackle in the Penn State game and making the Super Bowl today. And he says he has 2 brothers, Jake and Luke, and have 3 dogs, Buddy, Sophie, and Susie. That is Cole Eckert, number 78 for South Carolina. Washington State, number 51, Jackson Gilchrist, goes to Sugar Grove. Miss Fields, his favorite teacher. Best part about football for Jackson is tackling. His favorite Trojan is senior center, Austin Smoger. Walter Payton, his favorite all-time football player. And he says making it to the Super Bowl for the 3rd time, the big highlight. And he says he likes to play baseball and basketball, enjoys golf, fishing, and Xbox. Jackson Gilchrist, number 51 for Washington State. Adam Irons, number 20 for South Carolina, goes to Middle School North. Mrs. Surrey. Okay, there we go. Mrs. Surrey, his favorite teacher. And it says here, best part about playing football, you get to tackle people and catch passes. And he says his favorite NFL player, Reggie Wayne and Peyton Manning, and his favorite team, the Colts. And he says his big highlights, scoring a touchdown pass last year. And he said some additional information, celebrating his 12th birthday yesterday. And his brothers are Luke, who's an 8th grader at North Middle School, and Jonah, who's a 4th grader at North Grove. So a belated happy birthday to Adam Irons, who just celebrated his 12th birthday yesterday. He is number 20 for South Carolina. Washington State, number 41, Braxton Riddens. And he goes to Sugar Grove. Mrs. Barth, his favorite teacher. Favorite thing about playing football is tackling. Favorite NFL player is Reggie Wayne. Big highlight of his football career, playing in today's Super Bowl. And he also likes to play basketball, baseball, and the guitar. Braxton Riddens, number 41 for Washington State. Number 72, Sam Hesser for South Carolina. Goes to Middle School North. Mrs. Reardon, his favorite teacher, says he likes hitting and making contact. His favorite Trojans, Damian Stone, Rhett Mappis, Sean Mappis, and Drew Ponder. His favorite NFL players, Peyton Manning, Walter Payton, and Barry Sanders. Big highlight for Sam, getting to run the ball this year as a fullback. And he also says he's a wrestler and rugby player. Placed second at the 2014 Freestyle State Wrestling Tournament. Sam Hesser, number 72 for South Carolina. For Washington State, Hunter Schaefer, number 25, goes to Middle School North. Mrs. Fleming, his favorite teacher, says he loves hitting people. And Keith is a Harpino, his favorite Trojan, and Peyton Manning, his favorite NFL player. Colin Riggs, number 41 for South Carolina, goes to Middle School Central. Mr. Fritz, his favorite teacher. He says he loves playing defense and causing turnovers. His favorite NFL player is J.J. Watt. Big highlight for Colin. A couple of games ago, getting into the backfield and stealing the ball right out of the hands of the halfback and running it the other way for about 7 yards. He also says he goes by Cole, but that got confusing with 2 other Coles on the team, so mostly answered to Colin or just Riggs. That's Colin Riggs, number 41 for South Carolina. Washington State's number 89 is Josh Fernandez. He goes to Middle School North. Miss Flath, his favorite teacher. He says he loves tackling. And Reggie Bush, his favorite pro player. He says winning the 2013 Super Bowl and Sportsmanship Award are the 2 big highlights for him. His favorite NFL team, the San Diego Chargers. Josh Fernandez, number 89 for Washington State. South Carolina's number 76 is Zach Alexander. Goes to Pleasant Grove. Mrs. Brookhouse, his favorite teacher. And the opportunity to tackle people, the best part about football. Max Norris, his favorite Trojan. And Marshawn Lynch, his favorite NFL player. And he said a big highlight is going 9-1 in his first season and making it to the Super Bowl. And he says here, likes to play some other sports, baseball, golf, and basketball. And one final one before we start the second half, we've got for Washington State, Ethan Wilkerson, number 78, goes to North Grove. Mrs. Pointer, his favorite teacher. He says he likes playing on a team. That's the best part about football. Titus McCoy, his favorite Trojan. Peyton Manning, his favorite NFL player. And winning the championship 2 years ago, the big highlight for Ethan Wilkerson, number 78 for Washington State. And to begin the second half, the ball blows off the tee for the first time today. I'm surprised we haven't seen that up to this point. Again, a lot of wind today here at Ray Skillman Stadium. Temperatures in the 40s, chilly, chilly day. And we're ready for the second half. That concludes our Ray Skillman Automotive Group halftime show. And Aaron, should be an interesting second half because that first half was sure a darn good one. And Jackson's kick will go out of bounds, so the Gamecocks will get good field position.
It was a lot of fun that first half. Both teams had some really excellent plays, and it's going to boil down to execution here in the second half. The lights are on, so we're playing the second half and the JRT game hereafter under the lights to culminate what has been a fantastic afternoon of football, starting this morning with the JV and a good win over Pike, and then the rookie and minor championships. And let's see what Embry goes with now and if any adjustments have been made here for the second half.
For Embry's Gamecocks, a couple of touchdowns by Harbin, the quarterback in the first half, couple of quarterback keepers. And the lone touchdown for Washington State, Calais Stanball on that opening drive, about 50-some yards for a touchdown run. And Mason Long, the workhorse for the Gamecocks, gets outside the cornerback, and Jackson hammers him out of bounds at the 48-yard line. 12 yards on the play, first down for South Carolina.
They're going to continue to go with what's been working, and I really thought Washington State might move Ethan Jones down over on the left side of their defense and on the line. They're just running away from him. It's almost like he's a waste there on the outside linebacker, just staying away from him and being able to move the right side of the line. South Carolina is just having great success, and they're going to eat up a lot of clock if the Cougars don't make some adjustment here.
Embry, a couple of yards, tackled by Stanball. Mason Long, number 21 for South Carolina. He goes to Middle School North. Is it Heaven, I believe it is, a favorite teacher. Says best part about football is hitting. Max Norris, his favorite player. T.Y. Hilton, his favorite professional player. And he says a big highlight, scoring the game-winning touchdown with 1 second left to win the game against Washington State. That's the first time they met. The second time they met, it was somewhat of a lopsided score, a win for the Gamecocks. And also, he says here, this is his 4th straight Super Bowl that he has, and he's won 2 of them so far. So 4 straight. He's won 2 out of 3, and right now he's got his team in front 13-6, and he had that last run taken down at the 45. So 3rd and 7 for the Gamecocks. Six and a half minutes to play, third quarter. The wind has not relented at all today. Running here to the near side, turning it up for the first down is Harbin. It may come back. We got a flag down back at around the 43-yard line. Coach Embry pleading his case, but not going to win it.
Yeah, I saw it. We can see it here on the replay. Yeah, the camera angle didn't get it, but I actually saw it. Didn't think they were going to throw the flag, but it did. It was a good call. Tough one. I don't know if it affected the play too terribly much, but you know what? It is a call that needed to be made, which really helps Washington State here. It's going to bring up 3rd and long. You look at South Carolina's success today. They're getting it in 5-yard chunks. They're not doing the real long runs yet. So this gives Washington State a good opportunity to hold them and get the offensive going here. Now, they did make an adjustment here and moved Ethan Jones over. Let's see if they caught it right. They did.
3rd and 15. Mason Long gets the edge again out of bounds at the 44-yard line, and it's going to make this 4th down very manageable here for the Gamecocks. And number 1 is Blake McNeil for Washington State. He goes to Maple Grove. Mr. Irwin, his favorite teacher, loves tackling, and big fan of Titus McCoy and Andrew Luck, and winning his first Super Bowl 2 years ago. The big highlight, trying now to win his 2nd Super Bowl, and he says he loves football. Blake McNeil, number 1 for the Cougars.
I haven't been it for the prior games, but it seems like 3 names that you consistently are hearing today are Norris, Luck, and McCoy.
Yeah.
Pretty good combination there.
And a few Peyton Mannings in there as well. Here we go on 4th and 7 or 8. Mason Long off right tackle, taken down short of the 40. There was some movement on the line, and some of the fans here on the near side for South Carolina thought maybe there was a penalty by Washington State. No call, and now we'll see a turnover on downs.
Well, give Coach Jackson a lot of credit here, and we'll see if Coach Embry sees what just happened. But I personally up here in the booth been calling for Jones to get over on the left side of the defense. That's where Gamecocks want to run the football. They did move him the last 2 plays, and he's not necessarily made the tackle, but he's made the play. He's clogging up the hole, and consequently they were able to hold him there on 4th down. Let's see if Washington State can actually get the ball movement here.
In motion, Ethan Jones. Hand off to Clay Stanball. They wrap him up around the shoe tops. They finally get him down to the turf. That is Mason Long with the tackle. We have 5:20 and counting in 3rd quarter. It's 13-6. The Gamecocks lead the Cougars. Neither team yet to score here in the 2nd half. And Number 30 for South Carolina, Jackson Barrett, goes to Center Grove Middle School Central. Mrs. Brooks, his favorite teacher. And he says he just loves to hit on defense. Jordan Allen, his all-time favorite Trojan. Calvin Johnson Jr., his favorite pro player. He says making it to the Pro Bowl every year or winning the regular season 5 times, some big highlights for Jackson Barrett. And he also says he likes the Pacers, Colts, and the Lions.
Good old JB. He's been fun to watch grow up over the years. And while I got this moment, his father, Bo, has done an incredible job the last 2 years leading the CGBFL as president. Has put in a tremendous amount of time, most of it behind the scenes that people don't even know exist. And I just want to thank him while I can for all of his service and commitment to this football league. And it goes a long way in allowing us to do this today, quite frankly. It's the best around, not just the Midwest, but the entire country.
Jackson Barrett in on that tackle on Clay Stanball, so on 3rd down and 5. They try to get outside. That is Jackson, and he falls forward for a couple of yards. Good job by the South Carolina defense to really string that one out.
Yep, they get good penetration on the up front of the line as you watch the replay here, and give Jackson credit for staying on his feet and fighting. But the right side, number 41, Colin Riggs, really got through that line quick and disrupted the play.
Fourth and 4.
Look for a pass here. You got Jones out wide left, and he has the height advantage.
The toss goes to Stanball. He cuts it inside, now trying to get outside. He's got the first down, chopped down at the 40. Well done by Coach Jackson in that offensive line, and Stanball had a great hole to run through.
Good combination there. You got to play the pass without question, and then Stanball's done a good job all day getting the ball upfield, reading his blocks, and number 20 there, Nooner, really did a good job kicking his block out. We call that a kick-out block, and Stanball read it perfectly, got it up the field, and another first down.
Handoffs to Stanball once again. This time he turns it up inside.
That time Jackson Gilchrist did a good job of sealing his block, and Washington State has something moving right now. They got a little bit going here, and also chewing up some clock. So Gamecocks are kind of on their heels for the first time today outside of the first opening series.
I feel like all of a sudden, like you mentioned, they're doing a good job, the Gamecocks, not allowing that sweep outside, but Washington State really turning things in and just taking what they can up the middle. On 2nd down, Jackson, he's going to set the feet. He's got a man, throws it, and Embry nearly picked it off. He had it in the hands. Looked a little bit like your son Eli. Had it in the hands, but by the time he got to the turf, he just couldn't hang on to it.
Not going to lie, when I saw Eli drop that pass, I'm like, oh, my gosh, we could have had it in the bag. And
that would have sealed the deal.
It would have been a hard one to not forget, right? Great play by Embry. He's always had a nose for the ball. Two-pad, he has his father's hands. And I don't know. I've seen that a lot this year, not only with my own kids, but the different teams I watch, whether it's the Bantam middle school or even high school. We're going to have to, put them in front of like a ball, one of those baseball machines, put a football in it, and just make them catch 1,000 a day, right?
There you go. 3rd and 7, 2:15 to play in the 3rd. The Cougars trail, and they go back to Clay Stanball. He has the first down. He cuts it back inside, and Embry with a saving tackle at the 20.
Well, Stanball's having an incredible football game, and it really is neat to see. It's a great family, one of the neatest families in the entire Center Grove community. Clay, we've watched him grow up, like I said earlier, watching his older brother, and he just wanted an opportunity, and he's showing it here today. He's reading his blocks really, really well and then exploding off of them. So Washington State is on the move, and if they can stay patient here, they're going to stick the ball in the end zone for a score.
1:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. New set of downs here for the Cougars. Jackson, quarterback, keeper. He's going to cut it back to the right side. It was designed to go left. Now he's going right, and he found some good green grass on that side of the field, chopped down. I do believe that was Embry that came from the safety position to finally take him down and pick up a 9 yards.
Great scamper by Jackson. He had some really nice vision. The Carolina players were overrunning the tackle, and then Mr. Reliable, Luke Embry, came in. He's always been a good tackler and kept him from getting the first down, not before a good 9-yard gain.
2nd and 1 at the 11. Cougars knocking on the door, trying to get back into this game, trailing by 7 points. Stand ball inside the 5, trying to fight, trying to find that goal line. They stand him up finally, and he gets it to the 3 or 4 yard line. Did that ball come out? Yes, it did. They stripped him inside the 5, a fumble recovered by the Gamecocks.
Let's see it here on the television. Yeah, they were
I think Mason Long, number 21, ripped it out.
He sure did. Sandball was fighting for some extra yardage there. The officials have been, I noticed in my game, they've been letting them play, and the whistle hasn't been blown nearly as fast as maybe you've seen in prior weeks. And Long got in there and ripped it out of his hands. A nice play. A big play in this ball game because Washington State really, I don't think, was going to be stopped there.
Final 30 seconds of the third quarter at the 5 yard line. The Cougars bottle up the running back. Gets maybe a half yard.
That should be the quarter.
Coach Embry elects to let that clock run out. His squad in front 13-6 here in the Major Division Super Bowl. We expected a good one. We have a good one. Coach Jackson elects to let the clock continue to roll, and that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. This is Center Grove Bantam Football League Super Bowl Saturday, proudly presented by Aldi.
There's no difference in the quality of food you buy at other stores and the food you buy at Aldi. Except when you shop at Aldi, you'll have a lot more bucks left over when you leave. At Aldi, you'll keep more bucks every time you shop, and that's the truth. Aldi, simply smarter shopping.
To begin the fourth quarter here in the Major Super Bowl, the Gamecocks lead the Cougars 13-6. It will be Gamecock football to begin the fourth quarter. And number 15 today for the Washington State Cougars is Justin Armour. He goes to St. Barnabas. Miss Todd, his favorite teacher, and he says the best part about football is to be able to hit hard. And Tyler Watson, his favorite Trojan. Robert Griffin III, his favorite NFL player, and big highlight for Justin Armour is an interception. He's number 15 for Washington State. For South Carolina, Cole McNeil, number 25, goes to Maple Grove. Mrs. Levitt, his favorite teacher, the thrill of making a big tackle. Joey Siderwitz, his favorite Trojan player. Peyton Manning, his favorite NFL player, and winning his first Super Bowl in 2013. The big highlight for Cole McNeil, number 25 for South Carolina. And right now for the South Carolina Gamecocks, just trying to find some breathing room here, and strong run here on the near side. Good job by the Cougars, though, to wrap him up and take him down. So the ball placed just short of the 10, right about between the 8 and 9 yard line. It'll bring up third down and a good 6 yards.
For Washington State.
And they fumbled the snap, got on it.
Got some help there. So, again, I haven't had a chance to really see the major teams play a lot this year. You know, every once in a blue moon, you're blessed with a good kicker, kind of like a Conrad, right? And by the way, I've seen a Conrad win a Super Bowl with his leg. But, you know, this is a tough one. Washington State's been moving the ball. And makes a difficult decision here for Coach Embry. If he has a kicker, I highly suggest that he kicks it out of harm's way. If he doesn't, wouldn't be surprised to see him try the drop.
So you're looking at the wind, and again, it's a crosswind here at Ray Skillman Stadium. It is
it's windy.
It is very windy. It's been windy all day long. It is not relented at all. And the football at the 7-yard line. It's 4th down. They need 7, almost 8 yards. They really need 8 yards for the first down. And again, I'm not for sure what their kicking, punting situation is, but they're going to line up to go for it. With 6:38 to play in the ball game, 13-6, Gamecocks lead it.
Oh, he did a boot with Mason Long, and he's going to take it to the house potentially.
And he's being chased by Jackson. He weaves it out to the sideline. Jackson still in pursuit, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 36.
Wow.
They're going to say he stepped out at the 39-yard line.
So what does Embry do? Surprises everybody by putting Long at the quarterback position. He boots it, and it goes for not a first down, but a long, long way. Totally changes the course of this ball game.
Braden Holland, number 15 for the Gamecocks, goes to Pleasant Grove, misses Sylvester, his favorite teacher, says he loves hitting and blocking. Luke Calvert, his favorite Trojan of all time. Walter Payton, his favorite pro player. He said he played 3 years of Pro Bowl, and this is the 2nd year to make it to the Super Bowl. He enjoys playing basketball and baseball and plays travel baseball with the Indiana Astros. That is Braden Holland, number 15 for South Carolina. So a new set of downs, new life here for the Gamecocks. Luke Embry inside the 35 to the 34-yard line, and South Carolina leads it 13-6. They need first downs to keep the clock running. And for the Cougars, they need a stop. They need the football back. And Coach Jackson over there not happy with that previous play. Just did not like the way his defense played.
No, and you know, give South Carolina, whether they did it on purpose or just got lucky, they ran away from 2 of the best players that Washington State has. They had loaded them onto the right side, and South Carolina went the opposite, and that was a good play.
Back to Mason Long trying to pick up that first down. He's close. He's right at the 30-yard line.
You know, it doesn't matter what sport it is. When Big Mo gets on your side, it's a great thing, and you know, just in this second half, you've seen Washington State have it, lose it, goes back to South Carolina. Washington State's getting it back, and then boom, it changes just again. And it's such a big item in a ball game that you know, let's see if Carolina can make use of it.
Yeah, 3rd and 1. Nooner with the tackle on that previous play. They go back to Mason Long. They wrap him up behind the line of scrimmage, short of the first down. So 4th, and he loses some yardage on the play. Stanball was the first one in on the tackle. So 4th and a long yard, maybe a couple of yards here coming up for Coach Embry and this Gamecock offense. For Washington State, Taven Jackson, number 5, Center Grove Elementary School. Mr. Blackburn, his favorite teacher. He says he loves hitting, scoring touchdowns. Max Norris, his favorite Trojan. Big fan of Johnny Manziel and Ray Lewis of the NFL. Taven Jackson, number 5 for Washington State. Big play here for Coach Jackson's Cougars. 4th and a long 1 yard. And it's going to be Mason Long. He's going to line up a quarterback, and this time the Cougars were better prepared, and they take him down at the 35.
Yeah, they went back to the play that worked earlier, and Washington State was ready for it this time. Not so sure. You just don't run that right behind Janier. Understand why you go back to it. You got such great yardage there, but they sniffed the pole of Janier that time. Washington State did. And were able to get into the backfield, and just Mason had nowhere to go. That said, not really a lot of harm. I mean, gosh, they were backs were against the wall. A punt wouldn't have gotten to the opposite 40-yard line for sure. So they're okay. And Washington State, let's see if they can keep the mojo they had when they were on offense this prior possession that they had the ball.
4 minutes to play in the ball game. They wrap up the ball carrier. That's number 20 with the carry. That is Diego Nooner. He's had a few carries today. He gets a few here on first down.
One great thing to see, and that sometimes happens when you get the higher seeds, in the championship game. But I don't know what the final score was of the rookie game, but I think it was a fairly close game, was it not?
14-0, Texas A&M.
Okay, which isn't really a blowout by any sense of the imagination. Obviously, our game, the minor game, went down to the end, and this game's going to go down to the end and it just makes it for an enjoyable day. Great run there by Stanball.
Yeah, he reads the blocks so well, cutting in and out of blockers, and he gets the first down for the Cougars. They'll stop the clock momentarily to move the chains. 3:16 to play in the ball game. A couple of more profiles to finish up with for South Carolina. Number 51, Dalton Hutchins, goes to Maple Grove, misses I think it's Levitt, his favorite teacher. He loves playing football. He says it's just fun. His favorite Trojan, quarterback Joey Siderwitz. Eli Manning of the Giants, his favorite pro player. And big highlight is 2013 Super Bowl, beating the Georgia Bulldogs. And he says he likes bacon. And what do we got there? Narwhals?
Looks like narwhals. Don't know what those are.
Must be pretty good.
Must be good.
Dalton Hutchins, number 51 for South Carolina. Passing play. It is complete. Flag down. Flare down. It is a first down. It was completed to Ethan Jones.
It's going to be an interference call, and it might be offensively. It's going to be interesting here. But we saw this earlier where they lined him outside, and I said they were going to try to pass to him. And you could see that might be offensive.
Referees conferring at the 39-yard line. Here's the call. Pass interference against Ethan Jones, number 76. Offensive pass interference. Don't see it often, but it is called occasionally.
He did put his arms out. If you see it here, Kevin, it's tough. I don't think the defender can impede his progress, but the defender was actually coming in, and Jones came in and literally pushed him down, it looks like. So a difficult call in a game like this, but I really do believe it was probably the right call.
Big penalty. They've dropped the ball at the 31-yard line.
That's a situation, too, where he just needs to run downfield. He's tall enough. No one's going to be able to jump up and get it. And, I would go back to it. It's such a long way. I mean, I don't think they can stop it.
I believe it's like 1st and 25. They go with the middle screen. It is complete. And the ball comes out at the end of the play, recovered by South Carolina. They did complete the pass, and right before he went down, he coughs up the football. Diego Nooner with the catch. Good pass by Jackson.
Yeah, it was like a little screen there. Looked like for a second it could have been a face mask. And I'm not sure who got in on it. But
I believe it might have been number 5, Austin Britt, that ripped it loose.
Okay.
I thought I saw number 5 in there. So
nothing like your sportsmanship award winner getting the potentially causing the game-winning fumble there.
May be incorrect about that, but South Carolina takes it over. Inside the 40,
boy.
They fumbled the snap. I believe the quarterback, Harbin, got back on it.
Carolina now fumbles, but recovers.
1:40 and counting left in this one. Coach Jackson will be forced to start utilizing some timeouts. 90 seconds to play. For Washington State, our final profile, Diego Nooner, number 20, goes to North Grove. Mr. I think it's Mergenthal, something like that. Favorite teacher. Says running the ball, best part about football. Titus McCoy. I think Titus McCoy will get the award for the most popular Trojan this season. And Jamal Charles of the Chiefs, his favorite running back. That's Diego Nooner, number 20 for Washington State and San Diego.
And now they got to utilize their timeouts, and this game is not over. Again, we know Taven Jackson can pass the ball. They got a very tall kid who can catch the ball and has very good speed. So if they can get a stop, it can happen. Time's running out on them, obviously, so they're going to have to air it out, maybe run a couple boots or quarterback sweeps or whatnot. It's going to come down with Jones, Stanball, and Jackson if they get the ball back.
Timeout called. 1 minute, 1 second to play. And Bo Barrett here on the sideline, assistant coach. He's a pacer. He paces up and down the sideline.
He's just sitting there going, I got just about 3 more weeks, and then I don't have to be president anymore. He's not even worried about the game. No, he is. You know what? Bo's been great. He's involved with all of his kids, and not just on the football side of things, but the other sports. And he's probably one of the more patient guys I know, which is hard to believe. Be neat to see him go out with the victory as well.
3rd and 11, a lot of movement. Did they draw him offside? I believe so. Yes, the defense jumped. Great call by Coach Embry.
Yep, good call, smart coaching.
A lot easier to go 3rd and 6 versus 3rd and 11.
Absolutely. Coming out of a timeout, those guys' backs are against the wall. They got to make a play, so you know they're coming hard. It was really smart, and wouldn't be surprised they do it again.
Back to Mason Long. He's tripped up short of the first down. Good job by that Cougar defense.
Not sure.
Timeout call.
Yep.
52 seconds to play in the 4th, and timeout call by Coach Jackson. 4th and 3. His team needs to prevent the first down, get the ball back to have any chance. Aaron, as we wind down this 3rd game of the day, it's been just a great season. Like you said, Bo does a great job. His board does a great job, but also takes a lot of coaches, a lot of guys volunteering their time, the team moms, the cheer coaches. It just takes a lot of people, and, of course, Coach Moore and his involvement as well. So just a great league.
It is, top to bottom, and, this is a sport that's been under a lot of scrutiny, especially by the media, and it's understandable. You want kids to be safe and whatnot, but I think in a lot of ways it's been an unfair criticism, and it's hurt the game. And you know what? This league's continued. We've got great quality play going on right here that you've seen not only today on the TV, but throughout the entire season, and I couldn't be happier and proud of them.
4th down on the quarterback keeper. We got a flag down. He's got the first down, but let's see what this flag's all about. Coach Jackson not happy on that far sideline. I don't know. Is there a?
It's coming back.
Yeah,
so
it's coming back.
That's okay. Coach Jackson, I think, was upset from a defensive perspective on what his players did by getting sucked in or not taking the right pursuit angle. Okay, other than if they would have listened to him, the penalty wouldn't matter, and it gives him a little bit more time on the clock to get the ball down on the other end zone. That said, 4th and long, Embry's going to have to really pick out some crazy play to get this. Washington State really should get the ball back, and they just took their final timeout. So, I don't know if these teams have worked on it on a no-huddle or spike plays, but they're going to have to utilize that with them getting the ball probably back. By the time they get the ball snapped and everything, assuming they stop South Carolina, they'll probably have 30 seconds to go, 60, 70 yards.
Harbin had the first down. He's the quarterback, and he just kept it. It was pretty well blocked by the Gamecocks, but I think there was an illegal block of some kind against South Carolina, so now it's going to be 4th and probably call it about 14 yards.
I want to also put a shout-out to Aldi. They've been fantastic in supporting all the sporting programs here, the entire football program. I know they're big in basketball as well, I believe. So, they're getting ready to build, or not getting ready to. They have built. It's going to open up very, very soon. October 10th. October 10th. And, I urge everybody watching this today, please go support Aldi. It's a great store. They do a fantastic job, but most importantly, they support the local community, and they deserve the attention.
46 seconds to play, 4th and 14.
Oh, my gosh, it's there.
Harbin running left, gets a block on the edge, and taken down at the 36-yard line. He's going to be well short out of the first down.
Okay.
And Coach Jackson out of timeouts.
Yeah, out of timeouts, and they're going to run the clock. So I said about 30 seconds. So let's see if they have the offense to go no huddle.
Good tackle in the open field made by number 76, Ethan Jones.
Yep, it sure was. They're going to probably spike it here.
At the moment, the clock not running. I'm not for sure why they're not running the clock. They were supposed to.
Here's the pass. He's going up for it.
And it is
my,
off.
What a play.
Picked off by Luke Embry at the 50. Wow. That's your play of the game right there.
No question. Smallest guy on the field. Golly, what a kid. I told you he had a lot of grit. Look at him make the play here. Goes up for it. Didn't even think it was possible he could. I made a comment earlier with the tallest kid and the shortest kid. He ain't going to be able to get up there. Little what I know, huh?
Big heart by that young man. Well done, Luke Embry. Picks it off at the 50-yard line. That was a pretty well-thrown football, too.
It was. It was a great play. You know, one kid went for the ball. That's what it boils down to. And game of inches, whatever you want to call it. But
victory
congratulations to South Carolina and the coaching staff, Coach Barrett, Coach Embry, the entire team. Well-played football game today. And nothing to be taken away from Coach Jackson and his staff. Great ending to the championship games here at Ray Skillman Field.
That's it. 2014 Major Division Super Bowl champs going to Coach Rick Embry, his assistant Bo Barrett, and the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Washington State Cougars. They put up a great battle. Congratulations to them on a great season, and Ray Jackson also and his coaching staff, great season. But final score 13-6 here in the final Super Bowl game of the day. Luke Embry with the big INT to seal the deal for the Gamecocks. This is Center Grove Bantam Football League Super Bowl Saturday, proudly presented by Aldi.
The milk from other supermarkets is fresh, wholesome, and expensive. The milk from Aldi is also fresh and wholesome, but it costs a lot less. And when you consider that our milk comes from the same place as theirs does, paying more for it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Not even to her. At Aldi, the same is always better when it costs less. And that's the truth.
Welcome back. 2014 Center Grove Bantam Football League Super Bowl. We just witnessed the major game where South Carolina Gamecocks defeated the Washington State Cougars. So first of all, I'd like to say congratulations on both teams on a great season. Good job, Washington State. Good job, South Carolina. First off, Washington State, great game, great effort, great season. Way to come and play hard at the Super Bowl. Coach Jackson, you want to come up here and we'll introduce your folks and get them their trophy.
Ethan Wilkerson. Justin Armour. Jackson Gilchrist. Good job. Hey. Josh Fernandez. Nice job, Joshy. Asa Christie. Good job, Lola. Who else are we forgetting? Diego Nooner. Ethan Jones. Who we got there? Jaden Knight. Number 25, Big Hunter. Blake McNeil. Clay Stambaugh. I was going to wait till the end for you, but. Taven Jackson. Braxton Rydens. and Sam Strauss. I think that's everybody. Did I miss anybody? We're good? Where's Braden at? Oh, I was going to say it.
He thought that was your player.
We have 15 now.
Again, hey, let's hear it for Washington State Cougars. Great job today, guys. Now let's introduce South Carolina Gamecocks. Stand right there. Yeah.
All right. First for our fantastic cheerleaders, Sarah Pack. There you go, Sarah. Ella Barrett. And Ashley Embry. If you're okay, Andy, before I start with the players, first of all, I wanted to say Washington State, fantastic game today. You guys have nothing to be ashamed of. Great effort. You guys worked us unbelievably. Just came down to a couple plays, but you guys should keep your heads up high. Remember, we're all Trojans tomorrow. All right? Fantastic job, Washington State. Now for my Gamecocks. Cole Eckert. Good job, bud. Good job. Austin Britt. Sorry, thank you. Good job, Austin. Hey, good job, dude. Cole McNeil. Thank you. Good ball game, bud. Good job, Cole. Dalton Hutchins. Braden Holland. Good ball game. Good job, bud. Good job, good job. Colin Riggs. Good job, bud. Adam Irons. Good job, Adam. Zach Alexander. Good job, bud. Good job, good job, good job. Brant Holland. Well, I'm sorry, Brant Harbin. Good job, Brant. Good job. Good job, Brant Harlan. Sammy Hesser. Good job, Sam. Good job, bud. Good job. Luke Janier. Hey, good job. Good job, buddy. Nice ball game. Mason Long. Good ball game, bud. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Jackson Barrett. You got your one, buddy. You got your one. Good job. Good job. And last but not least, my favorite player in the world, Luke Embry.
Oh, there's no more trophies.
Super Bowl champ, South Carolina Gamecocks.
Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. He's got SUVs, crossovers, long bed, short bed, flat bed, dump cab, crew cab, center cab, half ton, 3/4 ton, 1 ton, high cube van, cargo van, diesel engine, gas in stock, or custom in the color you want, man. Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. Ray Skillman's got your truck, man.
Season at the Cinnamon Bantam Football League. Congratulations to all the players, cheerleaders, coaches, and parents for making this an extra special season. A big thank you to the Center Grove Bantam board members for their countless hours of dedication to Center Grove youth football. Also, special thanks to Center Grove High School varsity coach Eric Moore for his guidance and contributions to the Center Grove Bantam Football League. Today's game was produced by Center Grove Gridiron Productions, New 5 Creative, and CenterGroveSportsNetwork.com. The executive director is Aaron Holt, executive producer Matt Murray, production assistant Kat Murray, and camera operator Austin Tyke. Today's football broadcast was made possible by Aldi Simply Smarter Shopping, by Ray Skillman Automotive Group, Ray Skillman, where we stack them deep and sell them cheap. Once again, congratulations to South Carolina for winning the 2014 Center Grove Bantam Football League Major Super Bowl, beating Washington State in a thriller 13-6. For Aaron Holt and Andy Weesey, this is Kevin Conrad saying so long, everyone, from Ray Skillman Stadium at Center Grove High School.